Hello, this is Victor at RestoreYourMercedes.com. Hasn't been any updates on this 95 SL500, so let's just do it now. Today I spent a lot of hours on this car already, but this is a little unusual to me because usually I do mechanicals, electricals, and this car I had to do lots of clean and trim work. So let's just go from the rear here. The antenna obviously was missing, and the motor control module was bad, so seals were also bad. Now the mast obviously is not a big deal, but the module was resurrected. I fixed the module, the control module, so antenna started working. Then I put the seals, I put the mast in, put the aftermarket mast in, and sure enough it started to make this crackling sounds when it extended, right, when it goes all the way up, because the plastic gearing is thinner than original. So I removed the original metal spacer and I put a slightly bigger spacer in there, 3D printed, and after that it became normal, because you just need like, I don't know, like a 2 millimeters more, you know, the space wise, like, you know, just 2 millimeters larger spacer will make contact between the aftermarket shaft plastic and the gears inside the antenna motor assembly. So that was done, and of course that's not the end. The first mast I put in, it broke after third try, and this is the second mast they mailed me, so hopefully this will last. Let's see what happens. But original ones, I used to buy them for like $20, but I don't know, I think they're no longer or something. I have no idea. All right, moving on. Well, actually, in the trunk here, a bunch of parts still. This is one of the old speakers on the left side. This one is completely messed up. Some little trims here and there, and pieces, parts, oil. Okay, that's that. Hydraulic cylinders, all of the cylinders resealed, all the seals replaced inside those cylinders because they were leaking badly. That's just because, I mean, inside the vehicle here, well, let's go from the rear section. What I had to do is I had to remove obviously all of that stuff, and while it was all removed, I cleaned it very well, different ways, but obviously separation from the base, the carpet separation, there's not much I can do about that. I'm not a detailer or anything like that, but it used to be a huge stain over here, and that thing is gone. All right, and because you have these panels off, might as well just already clean them up. There was also a huge stain down under, and that one is gone too. So that is in terms of the rear shelf. Subwoofer was bad. Had to fix the subwoofer, replace the speaker, put it all back together. The speaker grill over here was cracked, pushed in, so that one I removed and glued it together and put it back. So that's nice now. Carpet is nice to touch actually now. The rear section is also pretty good. That side we have subwoofer and the amplifier. So subwoofer was totally dead, so I fixed that, and then also rebuilt the amplifier because amplifier was dead as well. So that took a while, but that is done. Now move along to this seat. This is a bummer because I removed the seat, I removed the carpet because of the hydraulic leaks. Fluid gets soaked into the carpet. I pressure washed the carpet right here, so it was all cleaned up, and then I cleaned the carpet, of course, and I took the seat all apart because there used to be a mice nest in here, right where the seat belt mechanism is. So for that very reason, Had to replace the seat belt with the used seat belt and clean it, of course. I found the same exact color coded seat belt for this interior color. While at it, of course, cleaned the leather and cleaned up all the trims. This was not very successful because that discolorated badly. And that, the rear trim, secured the back of the seat, replaced the gears inside the headrest motor. Discoloration on the bottom plastic trim, there's not much I can do about that, but it is what it is. And the oxidation on the frame, I'm not really bothered with that either. So this panel also cleaned up, this carpet cleaned up, so the whole carpet was removed. Hit these trims, hit this, you know, clean that up. This door panel was not cleaned yet. This is the best I can get because, again, I'm not a detailer. It's just that I happen to work on the car like with these issues, and once you start taking parts apart, might as well just clean them versus just leaving them as dirty as they used to be. So you're going deep, so might as well just clean it. Now, before we go further, let's finish with the seat. The seat itself is fine, gears, everything, but the gears for the headrest, they just worked once. That's the bummer, because now I have to take the whole thing apart to get the mechanism out. And what's very upsetting is that I installed the gears on that side, same gears from German company. They work just fine. These gears work just once, and they stripped. So where are those things? I 3D printed my own gears. I didn't want to do it because it takes some time, plus, you know, I relied on, well, you want to do something, do it yourself, in other words. So yeah, that's a bummer. Now I have to do this all over again, but at least I don't have to clean anything. I just remove the trims, and these panels are not secured yet. Cushings are just loose. So because before I put the cushings in, I mean before I screw them in, I wanted to make sure the seat is functional, and apparently it wasn't because of the headrest motor gears. I'll just try to show you that. Well, music is playing, but if I push the button right now, right here, the motor is spinning. It's actually a shaft drive. The shaft goes from the motor up into the mechanism, and it's spinning, but headrest isn't moving. That one does move. A big bummer. All right, so I'll deal with this next. Moving further, like I said, this is cleaned up, that's cleaned up, carpet's cleaned up, all of that. This panel, we're gonna replace the speaker in this door because that speaker is distorting. Right now it's playing, but most likely, you know, it just dried up and it plays once it's just a little damp. There's moisture in it for sure, so that's to be replaced. And obviously panel removed and cleaned up. All right, next. Up here, cylinders resealed, sun visor, both sun visors, mirrors replaced with reproduction mirrors, look really nice, and color code is near excellent. Now all of these little things that you know, the tree sap and whatnot, that is going to be a final wash. It just doesn't matter. I need to air the car out because the carpets, when they were installed, or at least this side and all the others, they have to air out. So therefore I'm keeping the roof open, even though the tree sap coming in. The paint job needs that needs a buff and what have you. So anyway, the trims here replaced. The problem with, there is only a problem with the light does not work because the pins, one of the pins on both sides only one of them. These two of them just broke off, so that's not the deal breaker really, but they just don't work. All right, fine. Moving on this side, on the radio and center console. Now the shifter, I opted to go with the plastic versus wood. It's just easier like that, and I actually like this better with the chrome trim. It just makes a nice contrast, so that's that. I'm thinking of 3D printing this piece, the cover for cassettes, and also center console hasn't been worked on yet. It just probably better off to put in a cup holder here instead of the cassettes, obviously. Ashtray and cigarette lighter to remain. Radio situation. Now I was gonna go with a different radio, the radio that would go instead of climate control up above, but there is not much clearance. The radio I got was not nice. I didn't like the quality, so I opted to put it back into the original radio location. Now the radio that's chosen here is the one with the cell phone cradle. So this is the cell phone, and it bends like this. Cell phone connects to the radio. That's basically all you need nowadays. Climate control is exposed. Bring it back up, and your cell phone, touch screen, whatever, that's all through the cell phone. That's basically what you need, so you don't have a bunch of things. The radio is not secured yet. It's just sitting there just because I need to work on the center console, so I just dropped it in to test the amplifier and to have some music actually. All right, moving along. The mirror here is secured. This one works fine. Microphone is also secured. I'm still debating, should I reuse this microphone or I will use the microphone that came with the radio. All right, so let's go further out to the front of the car. Now here we have new bezels and a new grille, because the grille was damaged, bezels were damaged, headlight wipers disconnected but set up so they're straight, so I'll just let it be. Inside the engine bay, caps, rotors, wires, no wires I didn't do, caps, rotors, what have you. Clean up the engine pressure wash and the trims, you know, obviously, like clean them all up a little bit here and there. Now to this side of the vehicle, this door was cleaned up and it cleaned off extremely nice. It looks very good. There's no problems here. So as you can see, this one also cleaned off nice, light and all that. The only thing is I have the switches disconnected right now because I don't want battery to drain, because if I have the door open, then obviously battery will drain up. But I like the condition and like the way it came out. I mean at the end I'm still going to do the leather conditioner. Right now this is just a clean, right? Pressure wash, not pressure wash, I'm sorry, steamer, and wet vac and all that good stuff. Now moving along over here, the panel here, the wood is chipping, separating, whatever, falling apart. And just got the wood out and I just painted it over. The color is just whatever color I had, it's just black, right, obviously. And this piece is still original wood. I'm still debating maybe I should paint that black as well, just to give it contrast between the handle and the wood trim. Speaker grill here was cracked, so that was patched up and glued, so that is nice, and that's good. Now on this side the trims are loose, and seat belt here, I cleaned the seat belt as much as I can. I don't want to replace it yet, but because, you know, I'd rather try to clean it as good as I can. There's just minimal damages here, but this side is untouched. The only thing I did is just this door panel, right, because I took it off, I got it off, and I replaced the speaker, so I want to finish with the panel, and now it's finished. Oh yeah, the pocket here was that was done a while back. It was straightened out with bolts versus original clips, so pocket works now, and that's that. This is very filthy because that's untouched. The other side was no better than this side, right? As you can see, all of this dirt was just as bad on the other side as on this side. Now here you can see the difference between a cleaned carpet and old dirty carpet. So obviously this one shines, like it's just bright, you know. That's nice, I like that. And this is dull and dark, not good. Now this seat is going to be removed, and I just got the drive shafts for the rear motor. This is great news. So they came from Germany, so it took a while to receive. Now this one I have to hit one more time to make it cleaner. And all of the triceps here, now it's not a problem because I just wipe it out, wipe it down, and call it a day. I will have to hit that stain again. That stain right there, yes, that I have to do. And also there is a little bit here. Other than that, the carpet, well, actually, you know, I'll hit this panel one more time. This is the amplifier, rebuilt amplifier, subwoofer. I have to secure it, but I didn't yet, just dropped it in. That is that. Headrest on this side moves. Oh, actually, see that these are the gears I received from Germany. They work fine. The other side does not, and it is a bummer. I'm not liking it a bit. So this one works just fine. So that is that. To wipe down the headrests again. These are the drive shafts for the rear adjustment. They were broken, so I got those. Also up front, the windshield wiper motor, windshield wiper washer motor is replaced. So now we have windshield washer squirts working, and that's good. And the cluster, those dots in there, I cleaned them the best I could, and this is pretty much acceptable. SRS light is lit because I had to remove the seat and, you know, start the engine and move the car around, and therefore the seat gave out the SRS error because I had to unplug the buckles. Now these things are also loose. Now the leather was sent off to the reupholstery because we have the damages here on the bolster. Common thing, very common on these cars. So in this area I'm going to glue some sort of foam just to bring the shape up, then put the leather back on. And the bottom cushioning, yes, there is wear and it is actually getting there, but I'm just gonna swap them, right? Take this one, put it there, and swap them around, and the it's gonna live for a little longer, and that's the plan. Because I don't want to reupholster this one also. Might as well just reupholster both seats and call it a day. But nobody goes on the passenger side for the most part, so just gonna let it be. The adjustment here was also taken apart and lubricated, so it was stuck, and that's what we are. So so far so good, coming along, and that is the very long update, I guess, for this 95 SL500 with the AMG kit and AMG rims. The car, once polished, will look really nice. And this is basically all. Victor here, restoremercedes.com. Thank you for watching.